Future Broncos, welcome back to another episode of Broncos Scoop. I'm your host, Daisy Lemus, a fifth-year architecture major here at Cal Poly Pomona and a student assistant of Project Caminos and the Office of Student Success. Thank you for joining us for this new episode of Season 4. On today's episode, I will be giving you the inside scoop on what our Cal Poly Pomona is like. In order to give you the full scoop, we have a special guest today who is also a student assistant of Project Caminos. Can you please introduce yourself to the podcast?
Hi, I'm Rosario Valdivia. I'm the graphic designer for Project Caminos. I'm also a VCD major, visual communication design. And I transferred from Mount Sac, which is right over the hill next to Cal Poly. And I'm from the area, so I'm a local student.
So CPP is located in Southern California, which is massive. So to help you guys really locate the campus, we have some nearby locations that you may have visited or like heard of to help you kind of locate where Cal Poly Pomona is at on campus.
Yeah, so Cal Poly Pomona is by the coast. So there's a lot of beaches that you can visit. So there's like Long Beach, which is around 50 minutes away. And then Malibu is also like 30 minutes away. Santa Monica and Huntington Beach. I personally like going to Laguna Beach. It's a nice artsy kind of place. But yeah, there's a bunch of other beaches you can find around the area.
Yeah, I grew up going to Huntington, but I'm not from the local area. I'm from like 3 hours away. So we would drive like 3 hours with my family to come to the beach. So when I lived here or moved here for college, I was like, finally, like I'm a little bit closer. And like whenever you just feel like going for the day, you can because the campus isn't that far.
It's kind of funny. I don't really go to the beach,
I
even though
thought I thought I would go a lot. Like whenever I moved here, like that was my whole thing. Like I'm gonna go everywhere whenever I go to college. And I don't go as much as I thought I would, but I do go like during the summer.
yeah, it's hot
Yeah.
right now, so a good
Yeah.
time.
Cal Poly Pomona is also located around a lot of sports stadiums. The LA Angels of Anaheim Stadium is located only 30 minutes away nearby our sister school, Fullerton. Or if you prefer the LA Dodgers, they're conveniently 40 minutes away if there's no traffic. Yeah, I wrote an essay about the Dodger Stadium. Well, we study LA a lot for architecture,
Oh,
but I
okay.
wrote an essay about the Dodger Stadium, and it was cool to be able to like we got tickets like the day before one of my drafts was due, so I was able to see the building before I like started writing about it, which for me, like as an architect, that's like what you should do. Like you should get to experience the architecture. But yeah, I like that it's nearby. We've gone a couple times.
Do,
I like the vibe.
do you guys go study stadiums?
Sometimes, yeah, it was American architecture, so it was
Mm.
anything that had kind of like reshaped America. So the Dodger Stadium kind of reshaped LA and made it more of like an entertainment center. So
Mm.
I wrote about like the displacement of people and kind of like
Oh,
the
I
issues.
see.
And yeah, that's
Dang,
what I wanted.
that's
It won
cool.
an award.
Oh, your paper?
Yeah, so the teacher, I know, it was cool. The teacher, I guess the teachers pick like one essay on history, like out of um I guess all the history classes in architecture. And I don't know if that year just happened to be that our professor got to pick them, but she got to pick them and she picked my essay and I was like, oh cool.
But if you're not interested in sports, there are other entertainment like venues you can check out, like concerts. There's a Honda Center 30 minutes away, the Walt Disney Concert Hall, also 30 minutes away, and the Crypto.com Arena. And in Pomona, I know there's the Glass House and the Fox Theater. I haven't been to them, but they're like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes away.
Mm.
And like, even though they're small, I know there's like a lot of big artists that play there.
Yeah, Ross Lynch was just
Oh,
at
yeah.
the Fox Theater, yes. I don't think have you been to any of the oh I went to the crypto.com arena when it was the Staples Center still, like
Oh,
the second week before they changed it.
I think I've only been to the Disney Concert Hall, but not like to see a performance. It was just to
Mhm.
see the architecture.
Yeah, me too. We that was like I think like the second or third week of school here. They took us to downtown LA to like teach us architecture,
Mhm.
and that was like one of the places they took us to, and I was like, whoa, that was crazy. That building
Um,
is beautiful.
yeah, I know I've been to this like other venues in LA, but
Mm.
they're like smaller and I don't really remember their names.
Yeah, there's a lot of venues. We one day we were in Pomona and we also just found like a place where there was like a band playing like
Mm.
in downtown Pomona and we just like sat there and listened. So you can just find entertainment like in areas. Some of the major fairs are also near Cal Poly Pomona. The LA Fair is in the fairgrounds in Pomona, so it's only 9 minutes away. And the Orange County Fair is located around 50 minutes away. Then they're like some of the biggest or the biggest fairs in SoCal. They're crazy. Like I went to my fair is like one square, like maybe like one corner of that fair. It's so huge. Like they have so many rides and yeah,
I like
it
going for the food.
for the food. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even get on the rides anymore. I just go to walk around and see the stuff.
And then there's also theme parks, a bunch of theme
Mhm.
parks. Disneyland is 40 minutes away. Knott's Berry Farm is 40 minutes away. And then Universal and Six Flags are a bit further, closer to an hour. And then Legoland is all the way down south. I know like anime is getting big.
Mhm.
So there's like Anime Expo in LA. I know it happens just once a year, and then there's um Anime Los Angeles in Ontario, and then Anime Impulse also in Pomona.
Ooh. So they're everywhere nearby.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's cool. Yeah, we pretty much have like I don't even know if there's other than like Disney World. I don't know if there's any other cool amusement park. We have like all of the cool ones kind of like a short drive away, which is pretty cool. And if you're like me and you love museums, there's a lot nearby. There is the North Simon Museum and the Huntington Library, which are only 30 minutes away. The Broad, which has one of the most beautiful and largest art collections, is only 40 minutes away. LACMA is an hour away. Mocha is around another 40 minutes away. The Getty Center and the Getty Villa, which are two different things, but both very beautiful pieces of architecture, are located around an hour away, like an hour 10 or an hour 25. And the Griffith Observatory is located around 55 minutes away. And the Peterson Automobile Museum and the La Brea Tar Pits is an hour away. And of course, I can't mention museums without mentioning the one kind of piece of museum that Cal Poly Pomona owns, which is the Nutra VDL House. And that is in LA and it's located around 45 minutes away, and it's owned and maintained by the College of UNV, which we are both members of. And architecture students give tours every Saturday from 11 to 3 p.m. of the Nutravideo house, which was where one of the greatest architects ever lived, Richard Nutra, with his family. So yeah, it's cool to be able to experience. We study a lot of the museums, but it's cool that they're nearby and we get to go like see them and experience them and walk through.
Yeah. I know I had to go to a couple for like art history classes.
Yeah.
I really like the North Simon Museum, and it's like not too far. It's in Pasadena, and so is
Mm,
the Huntington Library, so you can like hit both at the same time.
mm,
There are discounts to a lot of these attractions nearby in the ASI box office where you can purchase discounted tickets as a CPP student.
one of the biggest things behind choosing Cal Poly Pomona is the university's approach to learn by doing. And regardless of the major you choose, there will always be a polytechnic approach to it. I can talk about the hours of hands-on experience I've gotten in architecture, but one really good example I can give of something that we were working on that like was is or theoretically should be built was last semester. I had a studio for architecture and we were working on kind of like renovating some of the features of the new student service building. Like the student service building is really meant to be like the heart of campus, and even though it is it's kind of hard for students to still like find it and stuff. The CLEO was obvious because it's really tall. Like that's where
Yeah.
you would go for the student service stuff. You just say go to the pointy building. But they were working like on architecturally, how can we make it really be the heart of campus? And one of those ways was bringing in the landscape architects into our studio. So it was a shared studio with them, and they were working on redesigning like box trees that would then turn into benches. And so there was a lot of research on how those trees would start off in a box and then eventually be planted, and then eventually benches would be added and stuff like that. There were vinyl graphics that were supposed to be up already, but I'm not sure what happened. But
Mm.
those were designed by some of the students at Rosario's major, the VCD students actually designed the graphics, and then we were working on the construction documents for them to be able to put the graphics and making sure everything's fire rated, all the architecture side. So we were really working on that like construction side, because the goal for all of the projects, even mine, which was barely getting started off, and it was redesigning that central space in the student service building, the atrium. It turned into this like kind of really integrated crazy design that was going to cost a lot of money. So I don't know if it's ever going to get built, but it was like we were working on how would this actually be built, if it could be built, but also how can it better serve the campus that we're like students of, and well, we're students of it. So like I worked at the SSB, so I was like I have so many opinions about it because I was there for a semester. But yeah, that was like one of the classes where it was like everything we were learning was supposed to fit in real life, but we pretty much do that learns on hand approach.
For me, I'm starting to get more like um hands-on, or like
Mm,
being more engaging with the campus. Um, like this semester, I'm taking a print design class, and we're gonna be designing the wine labels for the bottles.
mm,
Um, and then I have a 3D design class where we're gonna design a mural for the art department, and he's actually gonna propose our ideas to the dean, so then they could take it to the provost, or I don't know, something like that.
ooh, it's
And
cool.
then we're also gonna do float designs, and we're gonna try to get like everyone to submit it to the art gallery or to
Mm,
polychroma.
mm.
And then for our final, we're gonna design a cornhole board.
Ooh, I love cornhole. That's so cool.
And then, okay, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this, but he wants to start like a tournament at the end of the year.
Ooh,
So it's just gonna be a lot of fun projects this semester.
yeah,
But
that sounds cool.
also just this job at Project Caminos is like a learn by doing, because um I'm like always designing stuff, and it's actually being put out like into the real world.
Mm,
Um like I know the Bronco Billy, like our previous designer made that. I know another designer created like our backgrounds. But yeah, I'm like this year I'm starting to do more like real life
mm,
projects.
yeah, that's cool. Um, I was gonna ask, wait, did when you were in community college, were you studying VCD or did you decide to do that when you entered Cal Poly?
Um and in community college I was doing animation.
Oh,
So I wanted to do like video games, or
yeah.
like working for like an animation studio.
Mm,
Um but then I wanted to move into product design. With the VCD program, you still
mm,
get kind of some like product design experience. So yeah, it still worked out at the end.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be designing the cornhole board.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I really want to see that because I've seen cornhole boards and they're like boring looking, but they could be cool.
Yeah, he said like we could just make it however we want. So like
Ooh.
I know there's this guy in my class who's like really like into engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I could see him build something crazy.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's like us too. I like going to class because I like seeing what other people like come up with. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's I think that's like one thing I miss about being like in person.
Yeah.
With like online classes, sometimes you don't get to see everyone's work because you get it put into breakout rooms and you only
Mhm.
see those people's work, or I don't know. Some people don't show up, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
miss seeing people's work in person.
yeah, in studio we like pin up the work on like around the studio. But when we were on Zoom, we had like a virtual concept board.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we would pin up online, but we're like it's not the same. Like it's not the same. And it's true, like now that I'm back in studio, like there's something about walking around and seeing everybody's stuff that like helps like see the work. Like we would never see like what the other classes were doing, but now like I know that the class over there is going to Hawaii and we're not because I was looking at their like thing, you know? So that's pretty cool. P is also known for its diverse community. Our student body is roughly one third Latino and one quarter Asian and 3% Black. And U.S. News wrote that Cal Poly Pomona was the eighth most diverse among regional universities in the West and the 10th most diverse in the nation. And it is designated as a Hispanic service serving institute. And our university also has a lot of international students who attend Cal Poly Pomona. A few of them I've met through studying architecture. But yeah, there are a lot of international students, and there's also a lot of opportunities for our students, to go abroad as well. So yeah, I think it's important to have a campus that's diverse and you because it's interesting to hear different people's like backgrounds and point of views. Like I think for us that's more like a more like artsy people's like life kind of is in their art, or like
Mm.
you see a bit of people in the stuff that they create. So getting to hear like different backgrounds, like I know a lot of the people in our studio are from like they grew up like in different areas and then they came here like to Cal Poly just to study. So it's interesting to hear like their opinions on the architecture of the cities that they grew up in, like in other countries where it's like people live completely differently than America.
Cal Poly is also known for its affordability and accessibility with competitive tuition fees and various financial aid options and scholarships available for students.
Yeah. School is expensive, we know, but Cal Poly is one of the more affordable ones. So CPP had its fall convocation 2020, which was a few days before school started, I believe.
Yeah.
And in it they shared some of the university's achievements from last year. So we'll share some of them with you guys on this podcast.
One of the achievements was that the Broncos Space Club received $500,000 from a NASA competition and successfully launched a CubeSat into space.
Do
Um,
not ask us what a CubeSat
yeah.
is, but I saw a photo of
Yeah, it
it.
was just
It
kind of small, right?
Yeah, but it looked like it had a lot of info on there. I don't know much about electronics, but it looked cool. It's in space now, though. The university also opened the Liquid Rocket Lab on campus to allow students to continue to aim for space, even if they're at Cal Poly Pomona.
The 14,000 square foot Rose Float Lab and Design Complex opened spring 2021, and this year's Rose Float Stargazers won the Animation Award, an award the university hadn't won since 1984.
Yeah, I think the floats always win an award like every year, the ones designed by they're designed in combination with Cal Poly Slow, so they're designed
Oh,
by both
okay.
Cal Polys.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought Cal Poly Pomona was the only Cal State that had like a rose
I
float
think I think we
line.
are, but we do it with them. Like it's the Cal Poly University's float.
I see.
Yeah, something like that. I think we're just nice enough because Low over there doesn't have Pasadena with the Rose Parade, so we're like, we'll
Oh
let you
yeah,
in. We'll let
true.
you come over here.
Come on, Cal Poly Humboldt, your turn.
Oh yeah, Cal Poly Humboldt has two
Yeah.
games too. The CPP cyberspace team competed against 14 universities across North America, Europe, and the Middle East, and came in number one in the world, which is crazy. So I was watching that and I was like, I should have learned cybersecurity
I
because I would
know.
love to know how to hack.
Yeah, I've like I heard that we have like one of the better or the best like cybersecurity programs here.
Yeah, I have a friend who's studying cybersecurity and he's a transfer and he hasn't graduated yet and they're already like offering him a full-time
Ooh,
job because yeah, school.
nice.
Yeah.
Last year, the CPP community also gave $23 million to support student scholarships, faculty endeavors, and polytechnic experiences.
And programs like ours, Project Caminos, and Project Stars received more than 15 million in federal funds to support underrepresented students. Because this podcast, it's free to you, but it's not free for me to make.
A new 1.5-mile protected bikeway in Pomona opened to encourage bike travel, and the Bronco Green Labs launched to reduce waste. Over 2,400 students signed up for the Class Pass, which allows free bus rides on Foothill Transit.
Yeah, this is something that I believe they just started last year or they brought it back last year. Or I don't know if they just started talking about it more that I didn't know. But yeah, if you're a student, you just get free bus rides. You just have to go get the card at the game room and you can go on the bus for free whenever.
I have a bus pass. I haven't used it though.
I haven't gone to get it, but I should go.
Oh,
Yeah, like you can take the bus to LA from here, can't you?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and then I heard that at Mount Sac they're building like a bus hub or something,
Oh,
I don't know exactly what it's called, but like a lot of buses will be passing through there.
that's cool. I have to, because you went to Monsac, I have to ask you, have you seen the new parking structure that they're just finishing up with the bridge?
Um, I haven't really driven over
You
there
haven't passed
anymore.
by?
I know okay, I know I did drive by one time
Hmm.
and like I know I was like, whoa, it looks so different now.
Yeah.
Because the last time I was there was like 3, 4 years ago,
Oh,
and
yeah. I
it
think they've
doesn't
built.
look the same at all.
Yeah, they're building this crazy. They're just building a new parking structure, but they have a bridge, like a bridge for people to walk. So like you park and then you take the bridge across the road, and it's like on one end from the stadium, and then you walk to campus, and I don't know where it drops you. They haven't finished it on the other end yet, but it looks really cool. They've been working on it for a while now.
Yeah, I want to go check it out. I miss the Mount Sac campus.
They have, yeah, I heard even like their architecture building, like where all the architecture students there are, like I heard it's really cool. I heard they have a lot of really cool buildings there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and super recently, like August 18th, which when I wrote this was like a week ago, but this now is forever ago. Digital journal Best Universities announced that Cal Poly Pomona had the number one best architecture school in California. Yeah, we outbeat programs like USC, UCLA, SLO was like fourth. So yeah, somehow we have the number one best architecture school, thanks to its affordability, accessibility, and also the curriculum that it teaches, and because we are really highly regarded by NCARB, which is why our professors are like, you have to turn in your portfolio at the end of every semester so we can get NCARB accredited.
What does that stand for? NCARB.
NCARB is the National Accreditation Board of Architects.
Ooh, sounds
NCARB.
fancy.
Yeah. So if you want to be like if to be considered an actual architect, you have to go through like the license process and you go through
Mm.
NCARB. So they're like the same people. So that's some of the big stuff about what makes Cal Poly Pomona such an incredible university. But I think that for me as a student, it's always important to remember that it's really the experience of the students within their majors that make the experience at CPP so fulfilling. Right now in the application process, maybe you're like, yeah, I do want to go to college and attend Cal Poly Pomona, but to study what? And I was there at some point too. And that is the ultimate question. It's not an easy one. Sometimes you pick something and then you're like, never mind, this is really hard. I don't want to do this anymore. And you change your mind and it's okay. But we wanted to share the experience of current Broncos, so we asked them, why did they apply to their major?
Hello, my name is Danilo Nasmin and I'm majoring in architecture, and I chose this major because I'm just loving the space, the building, and that art, that culture.
Hi, I'm Cindy Chu. I'm a computer engineer here at Cal Poly Pomona. I wanted to be a computer engineer because all my life I've been really into science, and being a computer engineer really bridges the gap between what I can do on a virtual level with computer science and engineering. So I will learn how to, control arms, maybe even send a rover into space.
Hi, my name is Marilyn Leva, and I'm an ethnic studies major. What made me get into ethnic studies was the injustices around the world, and I hope one day I make a change in the world, but that's why I got into ethnic studies.
Hi, I'm Daniel Fonsello. I actually double major in economics and political science. Really, at first I chose them because I chose economics because I thought it'd be really cool, really interesting, and it is. It was also the second highest accepted major for law school, which was one reason. And then I picked up the second major because I just find politics really interesting. Also very good for law school, so I have like the top two majors. Not sure if I'm going to go to law school. We'll see what happens. But they're just fun, interesting things that like really get my brain working. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Danny Jacob. I'm a fourth year history pre-credential major. The reason why I applied is because I want to become a teacher, and more importantly, I like Cal Poly's Learn by Doing motto. So when I think learn by doing, it gives me the experience to like go to the classrooms and show what I know and what I need to work on.
Hi, I'm Cameron Buck. I'm a third year fashion merchandising major, and I chose my major because they give you the option to try out everything before you declare. So I got to try out the apparel production, the retail aspect, and more.
Hi, I'm Christian Becker. I'm an architecture major, and I chose architecture because I've always been in tune with design. I love drawing and painting and artistic things, but I've also been pretty good at math, so I thought the intersection of that would be architecture, so that's why I chose my major.
Hi, my name's Trish. I'm a fourth year animal science major, and I chose to major in animal science because I did love animals growing up, so I wanted to pursue a career in veterinary medicine. I do love animal science and what we have to offer on campus because we do have a lot of farm animals, exotics, and companion animals. I get a lot of hands-on experience in my classes, and we get to visit off-campus sites that have animals as well. In addition to that, I'm actually going to pursue a career in optometry now, and although I'm majoring in animal science, I still get all my prereqs done for optometry school, and I really have a rewarding undergrad experience that's full of lab activities, and yeah.
Hi, I'm Alex Munoz, and I'm currently a computer science major. The reason why I chose this major is I believe there is a great career opportunity within this field, and especially, Cal Poly Pomona being such a great STEM school, I believe that there's a lot of support for me, and I believe I can be successful.
I go to Cal Poly Pomona to join Alpha Phi Omega.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Medina. My major is political science. I chose political science because law is something that's so broad and interests me, and also my mom is a personal injury attorney, so she kind of like told me to look into it, and I looked into all of it, and it was really looking fun. So I'm thinking about going into either immigration law or personal injury. I know it's two separate things, but they both really interest me.
Hi, my name is Amy. I'm currently a third year majoring in kinesiology. My pre-health track is physical therapy, and the reason why I was interested in it is because I have experience in physical therapy myself after being a student athlete. It's also very rewarding knowing that the patients you help get better and kind of heal in their, and return back to their daily lives or respective sports. It's a nice feeling, and just kind of knowing their story and like why they're there and just helping them through it all. It's a very rewarding feeling, and just kind of being there for them
and you don't know, everyone has their own story, and just kind of being there for them, I like to help people, and I like to like share my own experiences as well, so we have something we can, talk about and relate to.
Hi, my name is Susan. I'm a communications major with an emphasis in PR, and I chose my major because I love to talk. I'm very involved in community service, so I figured PR was the perfect major for me.
Well, I'll share that. I didn't apply to my major at the time because it was the #1 architecture school in California. But instead, for much simpler reasons, I really wanted to study something that was like creative, but I'm not an artistic person. So I think maybe I could do BCD now that I've done architecture, maybe. But at 18 years old, like no way could I ever like understand color theory or anything like that. So yeah, I knew I wanted something that was more like engineering related. So I wanted to go to Cal Poly Pomona because I knew they were an engineering school. But and I had also been in an engineering pathway, and I took like various classes. Like I was really good at digital electronics, like I like to code. And I loved like wiring bulbs and soldering, which like I see the electrical engineering is working on at school now. But yeah, I ended up picking my major, and I ended up staying with it because I just really liked when I started studying architecture, I started to view buildings like in a different point of view. I think like I don't know, like it's really hard to notice the little stuff that the architect does in a building, but like the more I study it, the more like I can pick up on everything that somebody does without like fully seeing the whole thing. Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is like I would never notice skylights on roofs because the skylight, like you'll see the light, but it requires for you to really like look up to notice if the whole building is lit. And then one day I had an assignment for my engineering back in high school, and it was a civil engineering and architecture class, and he asked us to photograph one of our favorite buildings, and I photographed the library. And that was the first time I was like, oh, the roof on this is like really beautiful, and the building's kind of shaped like a cylinder, and the benches outside kind of finish the circle. So it's like the building's a half crescent and the benches are the other half crescent, and then there's like a globe, and there's this thing that kind of splits the building. So then I started to realize, and that I know now because I'm older, but when I was 16, I started to realize like, oh, there is a different way to see buildings that like you don't really know. And when I got into architecture school, and he was like, a window will no longer be just a window. I was like, what? And now I get it, and I stick with it because I like that a window is not just a window anymore.
Yeah, you're like, I feel that.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, that's deep right there now.
Yeah.
So why did you pick your major?
So I've always like been into art, and yeah, so like I shared before, like I went to community college doing animation, and then I changed like my interests into more like designing. I almost didn't apply to Cal Poly because I was like looking for the graphic design major, and that's not what it's called here. It's called visual communication design. And I thought that was like completely different. I thought that was like English or something because of like the word communication. But like the more I was like looking through the website, I found like the art department page, and there was this video. I don't really remember exactly what it said, but that's like what convinced me to like apply. Because I know I shared like some of the student experiences, and then I had like faculty sharing, and it just felt like they really cared about what they were teaching us. And so that's one of the reasons why I applied. I also applied because it's close. But yeah, those are the two main reasons why I applied here.
Yeah. That's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the scoop. Look. Say something into the mic. Ow! Subscribe to our channel to never miss the scoop, and follow our Instagram at cpp.broncoscoop. If you have any questions or want me to talk about anything CPP related, email us at caminos@cpp.edu. Broncos Scoop is supported by Cal Poly Pomona's Office of Student Success, Equity, and Innovation, and with funding from the Department of Education Hispanic Serving Institute grant, Project Caminos. Tune in for more.